Hello everyone, this is SC2 here, back with some more Starcraft 2 Wings of Liberty action. This time it's going to be a continuation between EG Stephano down in the bottom left side and up in the top right side. It is going to be Liquid Hero, so it is going to be, of course, a PvZ game number 2. And kind of curious to see if this series gets all tied up or if it is going to be a 2-0 victory here. But like I was saying in the other cast, these are two of my favorite players in the world, because the Protoss playstyle of Liquid Hero directly clashes with the playstyle of eOnZerG. Both these players are very, very aggressive. I don't know if I would describe them as hyper aggressive, but Stephano has a ton of mid-game attacks he loves to use, and you got to remember that that goes hand in hand with the fact that Zerg is very powerful in the late game versus all races. And so what that means is since Stephano has a strong mid game, he already has a strong mid and late game to go along with that. You can see GLHF Hero, and Liquid Hero says good game right there, obviously preemptively calling this game into his favor. But anyways, this is from the BWC, $100,000. That's only for first place, man. I think that is the first official tournament that has had a $100,000 prize pot. I'm trying to remember if the very first GSL was $100,000 or $90,000. But either way, very rare to see that much money go to a single person. Even if you think about team games like Counter-Strike, League of Legends, things like that, yes, they have huge prize pots, but that pot is also split 5 different ways. So this is, you know, obviously one-on-one, so winner take all for first place. Although second place gets something too, so I guess it's not technically winner takes all. Down goes the forge right there, as Hero has already scouted out. He saw the timing of the spawning pool. He knows that he needs to get that forge up right away. Will most likely be able to afford a Nexus on the back of this while he waits for that forge to finish. Looks like Mr. Probe going to be delivering that mouthful of minerals right there, and he might actually head on right back there. Yep, see, you can see at the highest level of play, these players have it all timed out, getting one additional trip of minerals, then back down here right in time for the 400 to go ahead and drop down the Nexus. Could easily take another 5 minerals here with that probe. And actually, what's he decide to do? Is it going to be another scouting probe, or what's he going to do? Does look at the pylon right now. Got to be blocking off one of the bases here. I am kind of surprised to see Liquid Hero actually do this, because, you know, it does delay your cannon. It delays a lot of other things, depending on exactly when you get that pylon. And facts are facts. These Zerglings are going to be able to take out that pylon as well. This probe should make it home. Maybe Zerglings are just a tiny bit faster, but sometimes it does give the probe a little bit of regeneration time. So we shall keep an eye on him to see if he is going to be first blood. And looks like he very well may get taken out. Oh, but he just regenerates enough shields there. 5 shields generated. He is so close to making it back home. The other probe is ready and waiting with arms wide open in the arms of an angel right there. Oh, but it regenerates again. And oh, God, can the probe do it? Can he get into the base? It's so close. Oh, no! Oh, God, I think that probe, like, intercepted him. Here's the Ling kill right there. This is the guy who killed off that poor little probe. All the probe wanted to do was scout around. You can see a hero right there is actually trying to bait these Lings into the cannon, but Stephano has already put them on hold position. That is an old school trick. Hero's trying to pull it, but it is not going to happen. And the cannon right there, though, will kill off one of the Lings. Did it kill the 1-kill Zergling? Yes, it... wait. Let's see. Yes, it did. So I guess the cannon got revenge right there for that that lost probe. Now, one thing that you may be wondering is, does having that proxy pylon there actually be worth it for Hero? Because he spent 100 minerals on that, plus he lost the probe, so 150, plus you have to incorporate the amount of minerals lost for mining time. So about 100 and maybe 200 minerals overall have been lost in that regard. Yes, I think it does matter, and the reason is because it's forcing Stephano to go for a 3-base play. Hero has already seen what Stephano's doing. He knows that Stephano, just based on what he knows, not only about Stephano in general, but also what Zerg tend to do in this situation, is if they put their hatchery at a 3rd base location like this, then they're guaranteed to be taking their expansion natural as well. The Zell right here, kind of a back-and-forth battle, trying to push this on back. A Stalker is going to be on the way here. That will help clean out these Lings and force them all the way back home, as the Stalker should have no problem dealing with that. There is going to be a Stargate going down. The Overlord could very easily see this, he says, but no prison can hold this Overlord, so he'll just float on out of that little field there and be able to scout the main base. Sometime between now and the 8-minute mark, Stephano will most likely scout. This is something we see almost all Zerg players do. Sometimes Stephano, though, he's a total beast, and he's just like, no, I'll just keep the Overlord alive. And right now you can see the Zealot is going to be moving out there, won't be able to spot these Overlords, but it's very common to be placing Overlords here because it's a high ground technically, so the units on the low ground cannot see it. We do see more assimilators on the way, so Hero quickly going up to 4 assimilators. What does Stephano have going on? It does look like right now he's just got the 2 gas in the main base. Not uncommon, as you do have to make a lot of drones, a lot of Overlords, a lot of buildings, and a lot of queens and all that, which all takes minerals, whereas a Protoss player more wants to go for gas-heavy units. So we do see, you know, the Phoenix on the way, the Stargate, the Warp Gate research, the Sentries. These are all things that end up costing a lot of gas. Down goes the first Overlord there, which again is before the 8-minute mark, but at the same time, I think that Stephano was hoping to scout a hidden building back here, but guess what? He didn't, as the hidden building is actually in a very obvious spot here, but unfortunately Stephano did not guess correctly. So he is going to be playing a little bit in the dark right now. You can see that he has not scouted the main base at all. He has no idea what's going to be going on back there. And unfortunately for him, if he's not prepared for the Phoenix tech, then you will lose a lot of Overlords. Now right now we do see Hero adding on 3 additional gateways. He also has the robotics on the way here, and Warp Gate is now done, so he can easily upgrade these as soon as they are done. So right now, I don't know if Stephano is actually going to have the answer here. He is making a lot of Overlords, which will be nice for him, but does he have any sort of anti-air? So far the answer is no. And the question is he going to have anti-air? We do see the Evo chamber right now going down. 3 Phoenix are completed. These have still not been scouted to the 4th Phoenix finishing right now. Does Hero decide to go for a 5th, or is he going to back this up with a ground army? Looks like it may be a ground army, as those Warp Gates going to be finishing up right about now. Just needs to upgrade all 4 of these. There they go. So 4 gateways, 4 Phoenix here can actually put on a lot of pressure, but the Spore Crawler is going to be on the way right now. So he does realize that there is potential for some air units, and it does look like the Queen will get taken out here first, unless there's another Queen that can easily transfuse. Doesn't look like that was meant to be, and 3 Phoenix can pick up and kill a Queen with 1 Graviton Beam. So it does look like the Overlords here are going to be susceptible. Now, the thing that's interesting about this is that Hero has not overcommitted on air units. He realizes he's doing a little bit of damage, but at the same time, he does not want to overcommit with the units that he actually has. And that's a really good plan. He's actually following this up with Immortals. He's going to be following it up with Sentries and Stalkers and Zealots and things like that. So he's got a much stronger mid-game than trying to rely on just pure air units, because eventually Zerg will hold it off. And you got to remember, they're going to be killing gas units without using gas, basically, with those Spore Crawlers and Queen. But it does look like Stephano's going to try and go for it, but the force field's pretty good here. A couple roaches are going to get picked up here, and Hero decides to go ahead and march on out. He wants to kill these 3 roaches that he picked up. Absolutely huge here. Now remember, oh my goodness, remember that when you pick them up, you don't necessarily have to kill them when they're in the air if you're forcing all the other units to retreat. And I think at this point, he will go ahead and pick up some of these. The Void Ray is going to help clean these up as well. And unfortunately, these roaches really have nowhere to go. It looks like Stephano's trying to deny a 3rd, but there's no 3rd there. And so he will go ahead and retreat on through. Does look like the Roach is now going to be moving out, though, as Stephano has a lot of them. What exactly does he do now versus this many air units? Because what the cool thing is here is that Hero has done just enough damage that going Hydralisk is definitely not out of the question right now. Stephano, though, tends to not go for that unit. But either way, what I mean by that is that going for Corruptor is not really an option at this exact moment. Infestor is probably a better choice, and that actually is good for Hero because he's going to be following it up with Colossus. One thing about the Protoss mid-game versus Zerg is you want to try and force them into a certain tech. Right now, Hero has been able to do that, which means he can safely go Colossus. The force field right here looking pretty good. And keep in mind, Stephano usually beats all Protoss players with just roaches. So the fact that Hero's actually able to hang on here with his small ball of units right now with the force fields being pretty good and the Void Ray as well, got to be fully charged here in just a moment, means that Hero is actually way ahead of where most Protoss are versus Stephano. So Stephano does not have the momentum at all that he really tends to have in the mid-game, to be quite frank. Stephano, between the 12 and 18-minute mark, tends to get himself way ahead and then blast through on macro. Now, right now, you can see that he is attempting to do the whole macro thing, but it does not really have the army or the tech to back it up. So he's going to have to take some sort of risk here. It does look like right now his risk is a little bit of a hit to his economy, as yes, he is making some drones, but he's also making a lot of Zerglings. You can see his worker count identical to that of Heroes, which is not a good spot for him to be in. So Hero actually has a surprising amount of momentum where Protoss tends to be weak in the mid-game versus this style of Zerg play. Hero has managed to find a way to make it work, and the build was very specific. 4 Phoenix, keep them hidden as long as you can. Followed up with a Void Ray, use those units for a little bit of offense, and then when the Zerg player is forced to counterattack, you use them for defense. They're a very fast and, of course, flying unit, so he is going to be able to pull that off. And right now, Stephano's going to have to really work work here. He needs to get a 5th base up. He needs to get out the infestors. He needs to get down that spire, but he's a little bit behind of where he would like to be right now. Picking up the drones. Notice how he goes for the drones on the gas, because you individually have to put those drones back on gas. So not only are you losing the very valuable Vespine, but you're also losing APM that you would much rather be using on something else, which may not sound that important, but when you're going against a player like Stephano, every single click is vital, as Stephano is one of the best players out there. So every click that he's doing is, is super, super important. So if you can delay those clicks, then you can delay his mid game. We do have the Colossus on the way. I believe that was 12 drones finally going to be spawning here. But even once all these drones spawn, he's not going to be as far ahead as you're used to seeing. It does like the Overseer will get taken out here, just kind of scouting around, may have delayed some sort of tech or plop down a changeling. You can see the changeling right there, and more gateways on the way here. So really, the Overseer didn't see anything that important, as the Colossus tech is kind of a given how much damage he did with the air tech. Now, one thing I do want to mention about air style of Protoss in Wings of Liberty is, oh my god, why are these units in the middle on hold position, but everyone else is running in a giant circle? But anyways, you have to do a lot of damage. I mean, there's really only 2 ways of going about it. You have to do insane damage with your air units, or you have to transition immediately out of that. And so far, we are seeing Hero transition out of it. Looks like he may end up losing 2 of these Phoenix, and very, very close here. Still trying to kill off a couple Overlords here and there, but it does look like right now Hero had been able to transition quickly enough. The Void Ray is still alive. Void Ray's up to 5 kills, given most of that is probably just going to be Zerglings, but either way, the Void Ray's still alive. The Army Death Ball is ready to go, and Hero might actually just straight out win with this push if the Corruptors don't get out in time. We do see 8 Corruptors now finishing, but is that going to be enough to kill off 3 Colossus with this many Stalkers, keeping in mind that the Blink Stalker research is now done? We also have the +2 or +3 attack with Zealot Legs right now, so the +2 is already done. 2 attack, again, is very powerful versus Zerg, and remember that Protoss players want attack upgrades versus Zerg. Looks like the Void Ray will finally go down. He's already kind of served his purpose, but regardless, that Protoss, they want +3 attack or even +2 versus Zerg. The armor upgrades aren't as important because your Colossus have so much HP and your Stalkers have Blink anyway. That armor is not the best way to go. You want to be doing as much insane DPS as you can, because a couple of swipes from the Colossus can kill off the Infestors, it can kill off the Zerglings, and all around is the way to go. Here's the drop inside the main base. The Immortal are going to be raking in these kills. Actually, it's going to be going for the Infestation Pit. Can he get it? Looks like the Immortal will be able to. The War Prison, though, leaves that army for dead. At the same time, he is going to be attacking right here. Keep in mind that Stephano cannot get a surround right now. This is a choke point, which tends to favor Protoss, but does use the ability, making those Colossus take extra damage. The Corruptor's almost able to one-shot those, and it does look like Stephano will hold for now, but at the same time, he hasn't been able to kill off the very, very, very valuable Stalkers here, as at this point, once you lose those Colossus, it's all Blink Stalkers from here on out. +3 attack nearly done. Can Hero actually do this? I guess we're just going to go back into hiding the UI, because this attack has been non-stop here from Hero for about 30 to 40 seconds if you include the Warpin inside the main base, and or from Hero, excuse me. But Stephano does have quite the defense here. He knows how to play Zerg. He knows he needs those Spine Callers. They're absolutely vital. But here comes the attack right now inside the 4th base. If Hero can break this, he will basically take the game. He's got a lot of Stalkers. The +3 is now done. 2-2 on the way for Stephano, but still a couple seconds away. The Corruptor's not able to do that much. They are using their ability on the Stalkers, but those Stalkers just going to blink away anyways. Does decide to blink directly in there. Is that a smart idea with the +3 attack? Hero says yes. The Zealots able to get up in there as well. The Infestors unable to really commit here, as even if they do fungal growth, it's not going to do any damage. Hero at the same time going to be securing a 4th base. I do think we are going to see this series tied up to 1-1. Hero is out for blood. He's taking out the 4th base. A new 4th base is going to be going down in the top left side, but it may be too little too late. A couple Zealots right there. Got to try and make sure that no base is thrown down once again, and here's the Archon tech now kicking in right when he needs a Colossus tech on the way. We do see the Greater Spire on the way for Stephano, but nope, gonna lose this 4th base as well. So 2 bases have gone down. Does he cancel it? No, he is focused somewhere else. That's a huge donation to Hero, and Stephano does manage to get out a lot of roaches and a lot of links, but guess what? There's way more Stalkers. Take a look at the army supply. It's going to be 77 to 80. No, they got it skyrocketing. 98 army supply right there. Maybe losing a 3rd base here for Stephano, trying to buy time for the Greater Spire, but at the same time, Stephano has once again been forced to engage at a choke point, which does tend to favor Protoss right now. Here comes Zealots right now, going to be reinforcing. The pylon finally gets taken out, but guess what? Hero's got pylons all over the place, ready to go for more and more and more reinforcements. The Stalkers now pushing out the natural. Stephano's only on 2 base right now, so even if he cleans this up, it is not going to be enough. The +3 attack showing you how effective +3 attack can really be. Now having to evacuate the natural, and Stephano is currently down to 1 base. That is a lot of drones here, though. They are put on hold position, it does look like, and that's going to try to buy some time on these Zealots. You can see it's actually being quite effective at cleaning out these Zealots, so using the Zerg version of the force field. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough here. Stephano, while he did clean out the Zealots, still has a lot of work to do if he wants to take this out. 87 supply to 159, and you can see Hero now up to 4 bases versus the 1 base Zerg. Yes, there are Broodlords ready to go, but it looks like Hero doesn't even care. He knows he's so far ahead that every Broodlord he takes out is almost invaluable. Even though he lost all his Stalkers in that engagement, he already knows that he's got the money, he's got the power, and he's got the production to be able to seal this game, while Stephano is stuck on just 1 base. But you can see how powerful Broodlords actually are, able to hold that off almost by themselves. And Stephano, even though he was victorious in that last battle, you can just see units lost right there. There's the well played. So we're going to go ahead and go on to game number 3 between these players. Basically, the winner of this series, this best of 3, does advance to the bracket stage, while the other player is going to be eliminated. So this is basically essentially $100,000 on the line. It all comes down to 1 game, because whoever ends up losing the next game has 0 chance. 0 chance of taking that $100,000. This has been the BWC put on by Blizzard themselves. It took place in China about a week ago, and I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, just go eat a lot of food anyways, because any chance to eat a lot of food is a good excuse for me. So let's go on to game number 3. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time.